since Safe went to Neon on this map specifically, Vitality have been 6-2 on it. It's unbelievable the turnaround they had putting Safe on Duelist. The problem I have is he's either dropping 30 or he's dropping 10. So which Safe are we going to get? If he performs like he did on the last map, he might take this one home.
See the knife and the dart used in tandem towards A at the beginning of the round. Aspas with a slow step back.
Yeah, and a walk-up off of all that utility. I think that Leviathan thinks it was a feint. But either way, they're going to play retake on the site. They're going to clear out all of mid. It's just going to be a retake versus post-plant scenario.
Yeah, they're kind of glad to do it too, given all of the Cypher utility that's still up. They still have a cam perched over the site. You still have a trip.
Oh, they might flood through this smoke, Doug. There's a dart lineup from Calm right now. Cam sees a lot of players on site.
Zeno has a fault line too.
Oh, the stun
first. Safe falls. Close shot. Soudish Trex continues to cause problems. This time getting the best of Tex. A tap on his spike, but no kills found yet. Trex is still playing really far back on the site. And you've got Calm who's waiting for him. Meanwhile, Sender pushing forward into the smoke. Aspas with 3. Trex, he knows Calm is there. Finally swinging out now. He's gotten it to half. Aspas is very weak, but that's a 4K for the Duelist and the pistol for Lev.
And what a shot at the end there. Aspas, he slid right past Safe, running through that Omen smoke. Safe. I mean, I don't blame him for going for that stun. That was the perfect timing, but Neon is too quick.
Yeah.
And the self-stun worked against him. What a retake. What a flood from Leviathan. A much faster paced approach.
This was so close.
Let's go.
Jeez.
Nice.
What a start from the lad. And now he's 4-0 already, building up 2 orbs off of that ultimate. And he gets a Vandal full armor off of that. He's going to be so confident in this anti-eco round. A strong start. Another defensive pistol win for Leviathan.
I think the question in situations like this is, do you put yourself in a position to potentially lose it? Really nice positioning out from Tex, just barely dodging the flash, swinging into the second. Aspas joins in on the fun. Those two alone have claimed every single name of Vitality this round. Trex is the last one standing with a nice bit of HP, continues to get tagged through. A flawless round for Lev.
Protocols on protocols. The breach stun that Mazzino had all the way from A-Link. It sets up Tex to not get overwhelmed by the classics. And it was a team flash as well onto Safe that Kicks had. The timing just not quite there. That's something that Vitality are going to have to clean up on this next gun round. It's going to be hard for Safe to get entries when the timing is just not on par.
Aspas has the finger guns already.
Yeah, he doesn't even need it though, and it's going to be an aggressive B main take right here.
6-0 so far. There's the aggression that you were talking about, the dash. Dude, forget about holding B main with a rollout like that.
And the reason Leviathan do this is because they want to put pressure on B main and kind of funnel you towards the A site where they have a retake setup. That's why you already see Aspas leaning all the way towards top mid. They try to manipulate you into what they want. Make you invest more utility to clear all that space. So right now, this is the correct play from Vitality, a good answer back. You want to reclaim that space, but look, it's the it's another reclear.
Yeah.
So now you have to use another layer. Leviathan, they're just burning utility. Right, they want to make it so when the execute actually happens, you don't have much left.
Yeah, I mean, and that's even if you get B main back.
That being said, it was only 1 drone invested from Vitality. They still have tons of flashes.
Go.
Rechargeables.
A drone and a knife on the other side, and that will tag Tex.
Oh, yeah.
So they know the Cypher utility is here, although down for the time being.
Tex needs to be very, very careful playing in backside right now.
They're going to go back. Remember, Calm slipped into this position while that Omen smoke was up. How patient can he be?
He's going to get cleared.
Is he?
Yeah, for sure. Safe is dialed in on this angle. Oh my gosh, the timing? No way!
The wall goes up. Calm has gotten behind them. Off of the fault line, only finding one.
But it was enough, the delay. There's 4 members here for Leviathan, 10 seconds left.
And the spike is still not out from main yet. The paranoia comes through, make that 7 seconds, have the spike down on the ground. There's no way to recover it. Sender would have to frag his way through, and he can't. The bonus converted for Lev.
That B main push, Vitality, they had to finesse they had to take A space or feint it at least, and then also re-clear all of B. Calm, he played that insanely well. Mazzino, another fault line to set him up as well. It delayed everything. 4 members were already here. You're gonna see this a lot from Leviathan. They like to manipulate you on their own defensive side. And oftentimes they're a step ahead.
All smiles.
Yeah.
For Lev as we go into the next, a pistol buy for Vitality.
And for good reason. It's been pretty clean so far. Not much of a fight that they had to deal with. Will be another anti-eco. Sheriffs across the board for Vitality though.
The mid-trip cleared. Aspas the only one really close by as Mazzino starts to take a step over.
Yeah, he has to shift over. Everyone's shifting over right now.
Yeah, Com's popping up too, you're right. Aspas in a tough spot here. He currently doesn't have any help, but he does have a Stinger. Paranoia out, he manages to dash away. Walls go up. Oh, popped. Instantly denied.
Yeah.
They're going to try to end B here. That's going to be tough. You still have all this Cypher utility that's up.
It's a flood again.
Aspas again with the finger guns out, looking to find anything that he can. Smoke still coming through. The Thrifties were very successful for Vitality in the past. Can they convert again? 4 still up, but Kick's so weak. Sender 2. They've managed to get the spike down. If that's all they get, that's a money win, but they are still hungry for more. Mazzino waiting on the other side. Trex is now down. There's the swing from Mazzino. It's all on to Sender by himself in a 1v2. He can't connect. Another round the way of Lev. That was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, Vitality did a very good job of weathering that storm, weathering that flood. Just freezing the round again. It seems like when Vitality freeze the round and taking certain type of space, they have an advantage. They're just so good waiting for the antsy players of Leviathan wanting to peek out, but the gun disadvantage, it's too much. In a rifle round, maybe they win this round, maybe they convert.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's a quick timeout. 4-0 for Leviathan. Nice cleanup.
Com sitting at 4-2. Aspas at 7-2. As there was a timeout that you just mentioned from Vitality. Down 4 rounds, still plenty of time on Sunset here. But you're right, an early timeout nonetheless.
A lot of these rounds, there's not really much to work off of. Vitality haven't really conditioned much of anything. At least not towards the A side of the map. They've kind of been playing into Leviathan's hand. So right now, maybe you're going to see a similar approach to Icebox, in which, you know, they're going to take some space at A, freeze the round, wait for any type of mistake, maybe wait for a re-clear that Leviathan want to throw at them. Because Leviathan are very, very proactive on this map on the defensive side. But sometimes, Doug, their spacing just isn't quite there in terms of peaking together. That has been a major flaw in Leviathan's defensive side, oftentimes when they lose this map.
Right here.
I'm curious here. I mean, maybe we'll see if Vitality tried that slower approach that we saw in Icebox. I feel like the map plays a little bit differently, and I don't know that you can find the same level of success, but we'll see what the approach is here. 2 ults to speak of for Vitality. Some jump spots already. Look at the dart. Look at the paranoia. That's such a gorgeous setup.
Jeez. And he's out just like that.
That's beautiful.
He's hanging around for way too long. Oh my goodness, he gets punished for it.
The kill given right back. All of that utility invested to have an advantage. Squandered.
But there was no A presence at all from this round out of the side of Vitality. So there's 3 members here. And Tex is already cheating his way over as well.
Runner just got his ult.
I know
And there is a body right on cue.
They're going to speed up for sure.
They're attempting to throw a little bit of misdirection, but they realize that the B side has been lost. You've got Com, who's the only one really kind of close by as Mazzino tries getting out of backside, but he can't. The nade through, King disrespecting it. Does he have the timing? No. Safe with 3. Com catching 1 on the way out as Kicks tried finding safe passage, but was thwarted. Now we enter the post-plant position on B. The spam's coming through. Com has to play this so carefully. It's only 1 found. Com's gonna have to get nades to win the round! And he delivers for Lev! his seat with waves across the stage.
He's popping off. On the main stage, baby. Calm, he had some big moments in the last map, but that retake, the flood, it was chaos, it was pandemonium. Hunter's Fury from the start, a nice set play. And just running through the smokes. Vitality not peeking together. Calm takes advantage of that in full effect. And he's sitting pretty at the top right now. He felt that one in his soul.
Striving to win back-to-back championships. Still a long road ahead of him, but the opportunity for greatness, and with plays like that, he might just have a shot at it.
Is that his first ace of the tournament?
I believe so. 5-0 lead for Lev. Still the opportunity to purchase from the attack side light armor on all 5 members. And 4 ults.
This is a way more passive approach from Leviathan. Changing the pace on their defensive side, partly due to their operator being in the hands of Ospas.
Yeah, it slows everything down, you're right. Smoked off of mid.
Yeah. Oh, that's hurt. If he commits this, oh. Good cancel right there.
You are powerless.
There was enough of a ping on the minimap, though.
Trips are still up.
To know where it was. The ult has been popped, you're right. The trip's still up. Nice positioning out from Tex. But as he gets closer and closer, it will continue to be a problem.
30 seconds
Ospas
left.
with the op, here safe. Trying to make something out of his ult. Spam's coming through, not connecting, but the spike will go down. And again, it's a numbers disadvantage situation for the defense.
We've operator as well. How do you retake with this? It's so hard to clear out these close angles.
I mean, we've seen this before, but Com's not alive this time.
The thing is, where the spike is planted right now, sometimes you can't really get the spam, but they're not going to go for it. They're just going to take these fights.
King has so much utility here. He's got smokes. He's got, I mean, he had everything, but decides to try to take the fight. Ospas can't get away. His safe was on the, hunting him down. You also had Kix, who was on the reflank across the middle of the map. There was nowhere to go. A big round for Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality not falling for it this time. Ready for that contact approach in the retake, close up main.
I know it.
But yeah, you're 100% correct. There was so much utility that King had. He had a smoke, he had paranoia. The stun was still there.
We're back, we're back.
And they're back.
I mean, it's so, I mean, just getting that, especially when you're down 5-0 or, you know, however many rounds in a row that you've lost to open a map. And especially given how you lost Icebox, that first round is massive. Getting the monkey off your back. Again, all
moments like that.
Yeah, again, all that B main space denied from Lev at the beginning of the round. They've left Calm and instantly rotating back towards A. The trip to cover the middle of the map. Vitality are here, and they're here in numbers. They're here in strength, but they've already lost Sender. Knife only tagging one. Now Tex creeping forward, still has a trip. Waiting on one side as the paranoia goes out. Boot 2 kills the way of Lev. Runner's gonna have to do it on his own. Left to settle the butcher's bill. 4 up for Lev. How in the world does he do this?
They're so on top of each other right now. Ospas takes the head-to-head. Runner gets taken out. And on the side of Vitality, you don't expect what just happened to you. You don't expect Mizzino to just stay in that smoke, and there's a fighting squad right there as soon as it drops.
Spike down A.
When Leviathan are up numbers, they usually tend to play a retake approach, a retake style. But this time, they changed their game plan. It wasn't a flood with utility, it was just a firing squad at CT. And they caught Vitality with their pants down.
Cage 3.
More B main aggression.
But this time the knife invested here. How oftentimes we see it in conjunction with the dart towards A. To try to catch the Cypher, to try to get any early info. This timing here from Runner, though, is nice. He's crept up across the middle of the map, has a cam over his shoulder.
He got punished for it in one of the previous rounds by Ospas's operator, but that was when a B hit came through. So So this time around,
Tex is by himself. You've got Mazzino who's starting to rotate over, but he does not have a fault line. The positioning here from Tex has to be everything. The spike hits the ground, the pistols not really standing strong. There was Guardian in the hands of Safe, now a rifle for Trex. Runner not able to find any space, not able to find any success. Leviathan gets to 7, they march on.
Leviathan looks so ready for everything Vitality is throwing at them. They have 4 players on the site at all times, it seems, on both sides of the map. The B main denial, all the info gathered, it allows them to cheat over. And if you don't re-clear that space, it's just too hard to break through.
Spike down A.
Nice! Let's go! Vamos! Vamos, vamos, vamos! Let's go!
Full momentum.
We're finally playing
with balls,
aggressive.
with balls.
Finally playing aggressive.
Well, there's clearly been an adjustment in how they kind of approach these last couple of rounds. And honestly, you look at the score and you go, yeah, I mean, that checks out. That makes sense. That was part of the conversation we were having around Icebox, wasn't it? Where is the go that we're used to seeing from Leviathan? It was absent. It was non-existent. But now we're seeing a little bit more of it, oddly enough, on the defensive side of Sunset. But it's been very fruitful.
They've dictated the pace this entire defensive half, taking the fight to Vitality almost every single round, and then changing the pace up.
Oh, and I think they...
Osboss gets the off.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've done that a couple of different ways, but I really feel like most of the success has been from their denial of B main.
Yeah.
Right? They're just refusing to give that area of the map up, and then you have the combos across the middle of the map, like Calm with his ult, and the Paranoia, and the Dart, and all that stuff. You've got Tex, who's been able to post up across A. I think the approach has been very similar, albeit successful for Lev. My question is, what does Gorilla call here on the other side of this timeout? How do they change up some of what Leviathan have been able to do? Because they've been so successful here.
I think you either have to deny the B main, or you have to re-clear it. And then do mid-rounding, you know, finesse around the map a little bit. Maybe do a split from top mid.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're interested in putting bodies on B main. That was another setup. That was another setup. They had the flash from Breach. They had the dart over the top, and Calm had his ult. Does tag onto one. Sender managing to stay alive. Calm splits the uprights.
But again, there's going to be 4 players ready for this. King has that A-line because of that early dart. Here's that split from top mid I was mentioning.
But the Safe realized there was somebody behind him. No! Now they've got the Rolling Thunder, and that's going to throw both members up. The Paranoia out, sure, but it's just buying time. It's Trex who's left alone, and he didn't have the health. He didn't have the personnel. That's now 8 for Lev.
Everywhere Vitality are going, they're being met by 3, 4 members, and it's quickly. They're not ready for the pace. Leviathan are truly taking the fight to them on every angle. Even this, Safe, he did a good job of trying to get all the way in. But Mazzino, he's too confident right now. All of Leviathan are too confident right now. They're 8-1 right now.
And think about the difference on what we're seeing of Leviathan now versus what we saw at the beginning of map 1. They were stoic,
timid,
they were calm, they were very even. Now we're seeing Calm pop off. You got Mazzino's laughing on the stage. It's just a night and day difference.
The confidence is brewing like crazy right now from this Leviathan roster.
3 across the middle of the map. Runner, the one being called upon to try to deal with it as best as he can.
And there was a drone in B main, but there's nothing to follow up. There's still 2 trips on site, a camera. Tex is doing this on his own.
He's just playing things perfectly on the edge. And then he's got a smoke over the top from King to help things out.
The protocols are insane right now.
Vitality still have guns here, and they still have a couple of ults. There's still danger. There's still threat.
No way.
To this round. King's got to play his cards perfectly. The smoke is still up. The trap is still there. They've got to understand. I mean, it's their own smoke. They've got to realize there's a threat. There's the fault line. There's the kills from Tex. 3 for him. Again, Trex left by himself. He's going to find his one, maybe even a second, but how much more can you deliver on? 9 for Lev.
Doug, what a fault line from Mazzino. All the way from CT, it takes out everybody. There was a ping on the minimap after that smoke came up, a caution sign. And Mazzino, this fault line was everything. It was insane. It was perfect.
Spike down.
I love you, Mazzino. I love you, bro. You're so useful.
13 assists for Mazzino. We talked about his breach going into this map.
You did.
He's been such a star on it.
This time, Pacey from Vitality. Tex here.
He's so confident right now, Doug. This is insane.
This has been the first attempt that we've seen up from Vitality to try to deny and fight some of this B main control. But again, Runner's already dead, and now they've got the smokes, and that alone is keeping him back. They respect it. They're going to try to flip towards mid, but look at Calm.
Oh my gosh.
Calm is everywhere. Sender falls. Another 3 on the round for the Sova.
Attacker spawn.
It's over.
It's disaster once more. 10-1 the way of Lev.
A decimation.
Last round in the half.
Timing's taken everywhere. Leviathan have downloaded the game plan of Vitality on this map, understanding that Runner is a solo lurk in mid a lot, and he's gotten punished almost every single time he's done that.
One enemy remaining.
Calm is able to push all the way through A after that kill. They know that Vitality like to do 4-1s a lot. 5 ultimates on board for Vitality. Surely they can take this one away.
First of those 5 used. Safe, and now Kix is going to pop his.
He wants to go through so bad.
Load this flank on the other side. And the thing is, too, you clear a trip, but you don't realize that there are 3 waiting here. Maybe the cam gives it away, but that's all it is so far. So they've spotted Tex. Now they realize there's at least one more. Runner doing an excellent job of holding the line. And with Mazzino's fault line, they've got to understand there's at least a 3rd. Really nice flash. Runner with nowhere to go. 30 HP on the swing. Trex cleans him up.
Not ready yet.
King Calm in a 2v4. As the dart goes out over the top, it's been cleared, but so is King. Kong has had his heroics, but this time they're stifled before they even start. Vitality gets to do a desperately needed round. Minor silver lining, I guess. What a dominant half from Lev. That's what you would expect to see out of #1 seed from Americas.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, come on.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Yes. 8 rounds between these two squads. Vitality, again, pushed to the very limit. The potential of their year ending in, what, 3 rounds?
Yeah.
If Lev are able to close this out, this pistol is enormous.
They have to win it. It's a must-win round right now. And what's their approach going to be? Are they going to try to take the fight to Leviathan like Leviathan did to them? Or is it going to be a little bit more standard, defaulty?
I mean, you don't really have the same tools that you would if you were running a breach, right? I think that's the benefit of having Mizzino on that is you saw how many fault line setups there were, how many flash setups there were. You are allowed to be a bit more pugnacious in your protocols when you have that level of utility. You don't really have that for Vitality. Yes, kicks, the flashes with the KO, sure, but it's just not the same bite.
The room for error is so tough when you're playing this KO Sova composition. Because like you said, it's not as explosive. There's limited utility. You really have to work with what you got. And it's got to be near perfect. And that dagger was near perfect, hitting 4 members.
It does not seem like Leviathan are dissuaded, though. They've
don't
gotten the
even care.
paranoia out. They got the knife out. And yeah, they still wanted to take the fight.
They don't care.
Aspas and Tex walk away a little bit beaten, a little bit battered. But belligerent nonetheless.
Just contacting in. Is Mizzino going to set up a fault line here?
This is danger. He's not interested in it. Yeah, you're right. He did hit that, but he wants to take the fight. He's got to be careful. He's got the spike in hand. Tex is going to be able to trade it back, though. Aspas on the swing. Not able to connect, but Safe comes alive.
Enemy remaining.
It's going to be calm in a 1v3. Safe realizing he's there. It's the first. Sender drops him, dismisses him. Vitality get the pistol, an ever important one.
Yeah, they're still in it. They have a chance. They're going to have to invest heavy into this round. Buy the best weaponry they can. Here's the replay. That stun just not quite hitting the mark for Aspas. And some nice shots from Safe. Safe's been having a good game. He's still sitting at the top. But the supporting cast, it's just been difficult for them. If they can string some rounds together, get some momentum back in their favor, we've seen how strong they are on this composition.
Think about situations like this, not just in this half, not just in the series, but when you look at it from the lens of the entire year, is that you have to have short-term memory, man. You can't think about how Icebox got away. You can't think about the fact that, you know, maybe the supporting crew hasn't been as effective as they've been in the past. You've just got to take it a round at a time. I love that Cam is so high up, perches over the smoke.
Interesting use of drone, though.
From really far back, yeah.
Very early on. I feel like that wasn't really required. Sender, whoa. Whoa there, buddy. Slow your horses.
It was a good flash over the top, but not really enough to punish.
Now it's a flash being held by Sender on a little pixel angle kicks.
What? Good night. That's a ridiculous shot.
I can't use
But also a very weird setup. I feel like Kick should be the one jiggling in that moment, but instead he had a dagger pulled out.
30 seconds
Sender
left.
should just use the Omen Paranoia off of that for himself.
Sure.
So there's a chance for Leviathan to hit this B split.
Trampling towards B like Clydesdale's, making full. Again, as Tex gets another. That Sheriff is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. In his hands, 13 seconds left, though. Time is short. They've got to find the space, and they have to do it soon. Runner doing his best to keep him back on his own. Kick's now starting to join the fray. That should decide the round. Surely you just don't take the fight, right? Surely you just run away.
You get out with that Phantom.
Whew. Vitality gets a 4. Clean shots out from Tex, but
the damage.
Yep.
The damage was done. Whoa. Yeah, Sender's just way too exposed in that moment. That shot was something else, though.
I mean, both of them. And Tex had a couple of really nice shots on Icebox, although you mentioned it. He was pretty quiet. But the Sheriff is just, I mean, that's just old reliable for him. 13 and 11 now for the Sentinel. But Vitality doing their best. They have to convert this bonus. And that's why you see just such a heavy lean into it. You've got full rifles. You have line armor on everyone.
And you have a lot of space gathered down mid as well. They're ahead of this one. I wonder if Leviathan are going to contact in just like the pistol round, or if it's going to be an explosion onto the actual site. Members of Vitality are slowly creeping forward.
He may be, but what's the dynamite? I guess Mizzino has a fault line. And Aspas obviously has the go.
What a flash. 4 members.
And the paranoia. They've got nowhere to go. They're forced to take the fight back. Meanwhile, Safe has been creeping around the entire time. Calm was wise to it, staring down that way. The paranoia now out. Trex has to face out in front of it. Pushes the smoke, understanding that's where the hit's coming from. Mazzino with 3. And Save, who I thought was in a position to crunch this entire time, has to take an alternative route. Is now left in a 1v3. 28 HP for one member, but the rest of them healthy.
He does have stun.
Safe.
If he goes for it, he might be able to get both those kills.
Quietly creeping forward. He's managed to get it down to 1. There's the stun that you were looking for, but does he understand they're both there? It's gonna have to be a miracle from Safe to pull this off, but Mazzino gets his 4th. Leviathan get their 11s.
Mazzino is the MVP of this map on Sunset. He's been out of this world. This attacking half, his impact on his kills. The defensive half, his utility. This was obnoxious. And the 1v1, yeah.
28 HP.
I was so surprised Safe didn't just slide onto him with that classic.
I mean, he understood how weak he was. But again, short-term memory has to be the approach for Vitality here. No time to dwell on the past.
I mean, Leviathan have done their homework. They understand Vitality, like to do a re-clear off of a timing. And now it's just Save. He's trying to be the hero.
Does he force it? No, takes a step back.
A wise choice.
You're right, though, man. The desire for heroics in a situation like this can be the biggest pitfall. Mazzino with the Rolling Thunder in hand. Depending on the angle he drops it at, will have value.
There it goes, but it's going to be a dagger.
It's not going to connect. I mean, the knife out on the other side will connect, but the Rolling Thunder doesn't hit anybody. And remember, these are just guns, or excuse me, pistols, mainly on the other side. Still a Guardian in the hands of Trex, finding a little bit with it. Runner, 22 HP, trying to settle through the stun. On to Sender and Trex now, trying to keep Leviathan away from series point. A tiny little pixel given away as Tex punishes. What can Sender do? Nothing. Leviathan have absolutely obliterated Vitality on Sunset, and they're now knocking on the door of a playoffs berth.
And doing it as a cohesive unit. You look at the scoreboard right now. Everyone within 4. A full team effort.
Right there.
And that's why it's been so dominant. Icebox is just a blast from the past.
Note here, 3 ults on the side of Vitality. And you've got Trex, who's 1 away from the Sova ult too.
That dagger connects onto 2 people A main, but they're unaware if they're pushed all the way up or sitting in the back of mid. They don't have that info. KO dagger can be a double-edged sword sometimes.
A desperately needed round win to try to forge a path to OT, which is just such a crazy thought. Borderline unattainable.
Yeah.
And they very well might end here. These 2 going down, if that's how it plays out, could be devastating. They're a little bit ahead of it, but they weren't ahead of it enough! Mazzino and Aspas dispose of Kicks and Safe. Now the smoke's through and Sender fully surrounded, trying to find safe passage out, but he can't. All onto Runner and Trex now to keep the year alive. And again, Vitality crumble from beginning to end, bookended dominance on Sunset. Yeah, Icebox may have been a different story, but a statement made from the #1 seed of Americas. Runner can only stand for so long. 13-4 and a 2-0 sweep of Lev. Unbelievable performance. They're playoffs bound.
One of the most dominant maps Leviathan have had all tournament. And oh, what a time.
What a sigh of relief too, man, for as much as they were tested on Icebox.
Yeah.
A night and day difference on Sunset.
And it's something you said, losing a map like that when it felt like you were in the driver's seat the entire way through. Your game plan, it worked. It was in full effect. It came down to what? You were up match point for 3 rounds, and to have it just snatched away from you, it can break your mental. But what a great showing from Vitality. It's not what they wanted, but they went on such a run in EMEA, made it all the way here.
That's the number 2 seed too. But Leviathan stands shoulders above for now. I mean, I would love to pick Ito's brain because, I mean, you heard it in that timeout. Finally, they're playing with aggression. Yeah. That seems to have been the biggest difference. That seems to have been, I mean, it felt like there was a new team that took the stage when that was the switch. And the results speak for themselves. 13-4 on the map. That was Vitality's strong point. And yes, we talked about it. It was Lev's too, but that was dominant.
Yeah, Vitality are a team that have taken out Heretics, who have been one of the best Sunset teams in the world. But this performance from Leviathan, it was too much. It was too fast of a pace. So explosive on both sides.
I mean, they went back to what worked for them. It was what you were calling for on Icebox, and yes, it eventually came out, but we saw it on Sunset. They were decisive, they used their utility. I mean, how many really cool ult combos did we see out from Calm with the Paranoia, with the Dart, with Mazzino's flashes too?
And even if they didn't connect, they understood how the enemy team of Vitality would rotate. And they were 2 steps ahead, it feels like.
Let's go.
2 steps, sometimes even 3. With the way they were able to deny a lot of that space from Vitality early on. This clutch out from Calm was absolutely ridiculous. When you got Calm out of his seat like that, that's a really good sign, Dre.
He second-guessed himself on popping off right there, too. A little bit of a stumble in his chair, but ultimately he pointed the finger.
I think there's a lot to be excited about for Lev, thinking about playoffs, thinking about what their aspirations and goals were. This was a roster that was built to win this tournament. We'll see if they can pull it off. We've got Calm standing by for the Verizon post-match interview.